Live from the Preston Highway Studios, it's 24-Hour Purple People.
Hello, and welcome back to 24-Hour Purple People. My name is John Harper. I'm absolutely thrilled to have you along for the ride today as we are all set for another action-packed edition of the program. On tonight's episode, LouCity are the kings of Kentucky soccer. Racing may be entering a new chapter of their 2025 novel. They sell them at Sears. 3 matches all at home this week. We are all, we're all very excited for, but can we afford to go to them? There'll be pitchforks, balloons possible, streamers, and happiness and happy thoughts. And joining me for those happy thoughts are 2 very happy individuals. I guarantee it. First off, he is the van tailgating master, the OG capo. I forgot to say that last week. Ken Luther. Ken, hello.
Hey, what's going on? Derby's over and I'm hungover, but I'm ready to go to soccer games. Got 3 of them this week. Let's go. Woo!
All right. And also the author of the Purple Prose new edition out this morning, Matt. It was very good. I quite enjoyed that. Mr. Matt Dalton. Matt, hello.
Hello, Johnny. How are you?
I am doing pretty good, better than I deserve, and I'm just happy to be back for another episode and excited. We had a great time on Thursday, May Day. I believe you called it in your write-up. It was the first ever Commonwealth Cup, and we have highlights of this Commonwealth Cup. I think it was quite the fun occasion. Was there supposed to be trophies? There was no trophy. I'm glad there wasn't.
There's still like 2-leg tournament, man.
They're still making the cup. They're still designing and
see.
producing the cup.
I see. Well, that makes a little bit more sense then. All right. Here we go. Ken, I'll bring you back. You know, Ken always disappears at this point. We're going to bring Ken back in momentarily.
My favorite part of the cup.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Lexington, we talked about. They like to possess the ball. What'd you see out there from old Lexington, Matt? I'll let you start since I'm getting Ken back in the fold here.
So this was, it was the first half. Do you guys know what gooning is? Let me go ahead and start there.
Gooning?
Gooning.
Hey, can you pause? Am I back? Can you pause?
Yeah, you're back. You're back.
Yeah.
Can you pause? Yes. Okay.
It's a good place to pause too.
Yeah. I think the first thing we have to talk about is those kits. Not ours. We like ours. But those Lexington kits, what is going on there?
Woof.
Yeah, they're not great.
That's a pretty good. Yeah, just cut that head off. Yeah, we don't need that. The first thing bothers me is that big UK on the front. I mean, if I had you had any hope of getting me to buy one of these kits, I mean, it's gone as soon as you put that on the front. I'm not gonna put an article of clothing in my house that has a big old UK on it. So these are the bourbon kits, right? Is that what they say?
Well, that's what I thought when I first saw them. I was like, that looks like a little bit
that's the inspiration
of a bourbon color. But Rebecca's like, no, that doesn't look like bourbon. That looks like burnt orange or Tennessee.
Yeah, it looks like the
Texas Longhorns or something like that. And I'd be like, why would you put UK on a kit and then make it one of your rivals? That doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
It's very confusing, the whole thing. The big floppy disco collar. Let's get a good shot at this. The stripes, but only in the center. I'm sure Hummel does great work otherwise, but this is not one of their best. So from what I have read from the media that Lexington has put out, is this is supposed to resemble the color of sunlight hitting a bottle of bourbon, right? As it shines through. It's caramelly. That's not. Is that what you guys are getting from this? Is that what you guys see?
Isn't sunlight bad for bourbon? Like leaving
Sunlight's
bourbon in
not
sunlight?
good at all for bourbon. Yeah, you want to keep that in a dark place, right?
I got what they were trying to do, but I think they missed on that one.
Yeah. They were distracting. I wasn't prepared for it. I feel like I should have a warning if you're going to wear orange.
They are ugly.
They're bad.
Busted.
Okay, to the game. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
We had to pause. All right.
Bobby Firmino there.
So I thought we had a good lineup. I liked it. I was pretty happy about who we fielded starting this game. And I thought, the first half was good. It was a physical game. We did fairly well, although we weren't able to score in the first half. We had a lot of good chances. I mean, that was a really close chance, and I really think Wilson should have put it away there. Matt?
So gooning. If you guys don't know what gooning is, look it up after the show. This will be fun. A lot of shots, right? A lot of good chances created, a lot of very near misses, but really nothing, no payoff, right? Until the second half. So this first half was very tense for me, at least. I mean, watching these balls was by over and over again. The good save from their keeper there. You want to see some better finishing. Efficiency is really the only thing I can criticize this team for, to be honest.
Okay, let's pause it right here.
And here we go, a big turning point. Yeah.
So the first half, going back to the first half, we had a lot of good shots on target. We had a lot of players in dangerous areas that weren't being marked. I felt going into halftime that it was inevitable that we would score. And then we got to this shenanigans right here. And what I don't understand is, yes, McFadden probably should have gotten a yellow card for pulling on his leg, but he lashes out and right there kicks him in the head.
Kicked him in the head. Head.
I don't know what player it was, but one of our players had a water bottle and they're like squirting it in his face. Do you see that right at the end of the clip?
I mean, honestly, he's lucky he didn't get decked. I mean, he's surrounded by purple kids there. He's surrounded by purple jerseys. I mean, he kicks McFadden directly in the head like a mule kick.
That is a red card in any game, in any league, anywhere. And he argued the call for a very long time. Remember how long he was on the field? Kept talking,
so long.
kept getting pulled back. I mean, to me, that's got to be more than a 3-game suspension because of the way we went about that.
He had words for Danny Cruz. Like, he approached Danny as he left. Like, his trainers, his teammates were trying to pull him off the field. He just wouldn't go. I don't understand why he got such a long leash. I mean, he's going to get suspended anyway. But, I mean, it's like watching Draymond Green. I mean, why does he get to stay on the field and scream at our players and scream at our fans and scream at our coach on the way out as he saunters over slowly? I mean, get him off the field.
I wonder how that VAR request is going that he had as
assault.
Well. Yes.
He's walking through he's doing this number, walking through the tunnel. Okay, buddy.
So then Sam Gleadle, who had a maybe not as impressive performance as he had in previous games, probably a little tired, limped off the field last game. Goodrum comes on. So we got high hopes.
High apple pie in the sky hopes.
And
now, from our vantage point in the stands, this looked like a great header from Aiden McFadden.
Sure did. Wasn't. I thought for sure it was him.
No, it was not.
I think he got player of the match for it too. Did he not?
Yeah, he did. He actually did.
That's excellent.
You could even see on the as he's running off, he's telling his teammate, "I didn't do that. That wasn't me." Just shaking his head. But I mean, we'll take it. Yeah.
Yeah. So the chances continued. Now they're playing a person down at this point.
Yes.
We're 1 goal up. The chances were continuing. We're pouring on the pressure. We've already had a couple of great chances on target. That was an excellent, goal line defense by their defender. And this, watch what happens. Goodrum gets hit, bowled over, gets right back up, runs into that lane, and we were standing right behind him and just nails it. From our vantage point, which is row, I don't know what it was, Q, in the Estopano end, we were right behind him, and that ball was dipping and moving and curving, and was just a beautiful shot. You talk about tenacity on Goodrum's part to get bowled over and then get right back into that lane, pick up that ball, hit it in the net. Thought it was excellent.
And that's what he's been doing all year, right? He's been tenacious. He's been on and off the ball. I mean, he never stops working, and finally, it pays off. Credit to Jansen for juking a couple defenders there to keep possession before he dips it back off to Goodrum. But yeah, that was a knuckleball for sure. Here's my favorite moment of the game. Kyle Adams with the goal line clearance, and he's not done there. Another one, and another
one, and one more, right? Nope, not one more. They hit
this kind of counts.
Did you watch the post-match interview with Cruz?
I did not.
Cruz, he was not happy. He thought, and if I rewatched the game, maybe we'd see it. But he thought that once, the first half maybe should have taken a little bit more from our opportunities. In the second half, we scored 2 goals. And once we scored 2 goals, he thought that we took our foot off the gas pedal too much. And he was really, really angry with the team. And he was about to go into the locker room and give him the old hair dryer. I was pretty elated after that game. But Cruz, I think, is quite the perfectionist. So I guess maybe we did take our foot off the gas, and that's why they did get those opportunities, and that's why Kyle Adams was making those goal line stands. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, you have to stay clear of the hairdryer at half, and I know that, Damian also had a great game as well. We only allowed 9 total shots by Lexington, and Damian came up, had 2 good saves on the night as well. Matt, were you impressed by this victory overall? 2-0, 2-0.
I don't want to say I wasn't impressed, but this is kind of par for the course, I guess. I guess I'm desensitized to so much success and to constant good football from this club that I guess I was impressed. Let's go with Let's go with I was impressed.
Yeah, I think it's hard to not be impressed. And Lexington, it's not like they just came out and crapped the bed. I mean, they played fairly well. Obviously, in a hostile environment, they had a pretty good turnout. Where were the 2 buses of supporters? Do we ever see those buses?
So pre-game, and I know that the team sent out an email urging people to buy tickets that stated we were going to have multiple bus loads of Lexington SC supporters there. We heard two buses, 2 full bus. I don't know what kind of buses, charter buses that were coming up for the game, but we didn't see them park. We didn't see anybody get off any buses. But towards, I guess, the end of the game, I did look over and notice there was a grouping of people in the away section, the lower bowl area anyway. But not the turnout that I would have hoped, I guess. But it is a Thursday game. I mean, that's difficult for people, especially if you have to travel.
Yeah.
Is this a game you'd want to see played on Thurby at our home stadium forever? Every year?
Personally, no.
Yeah.
Not Thurby particularly. It seemed to me that they were looking for a place to sort of fit this in rather than doing like what would get them the most, I don't know, draw, I suppose, because a Saturday game you can't do this week. But I don't think Thurby is the way to go either, necessarily. I mean, there's a lot to do around the city this entire week, so you're at a disadvantage there.
Yeah, I like it. I think the attendance was what, 8,200 in some folks. The thing about I've learned since living here for the past 13 years is that everybody has a kind of thing that they do in Derby time. Some people don't do it at all, but some people have, go to the track on Oaks, go to the track on Derby, or whatever. The kids have school off on Friday, so I think there was some logic and some reasoning there.
Okay.
So from a home fan perspective, I think if they keep doing this, it can build. I think we just kind of build it into our natural Derby, rhythm, whatever we do. And I kind of had to change up some of the things I normally do to facilitate this game. From a visiting fan perspective, I think it kind of screws them because obviously they're not going to be able to drive up here and stay in a hotel unless they want to spend thousands of dollars. So taking buses up here, I think, is a good idea. So maybe they'll be able to sustain that. I'm going to be interested to see if they try to do this again next year.
Well, I think they will. I think there's no doubt in my mind they're going to try to make this a tradition and just work it in. I mean, we were talking about the tailgate. This was a sanctioned Kentucky Derby event, which is good. It's good for the club, but it might take a little bit for that to become a norm. And Ken, like you said, everybody in Louisville kind of has a tradition of what they do around Derby, and some people, they go to Derby every year, or now we have 5-0 Tuesday. There's a lot of stuff that's what it's called, I think. But there's a lot of stuff going on. Now, me personally, I work every single Kentucky Derby. That way, I don't know what's going on, which is not par from the course, as you were alluding to earlier. That is my thing, not knowing what's going on. But I know what's going on right now. We are going to transition over to Racing Louisville, which, coming out of that Thorns game, we were pretty pumped up. We were excited to see the offense starting to click a little bit for Racing. And then we had this match at Houston, and boy, what a doozy. It took forever for this game to get started. But it won't take long for these highlights to get started, gentlemen. Let's take a look at some highlights of this Racing Louisville game at Houston from
check out this heavy metal press.
Friday evening. Not this one. This one. Okay.
So the biggest thing I saw, obviously, was Jordan Bloomer getting the call because Katie Lund did not travel. She has some sort of hip injury, is what I have heard through the grapevine. So this was a great chance for Jordan Bloomer to fight for that top spot. And I guess we'll see that in the highlights, what happened there.
This was her first league start, right?
Yeah, it sure was. And other than Ari, I think this was probably our best 11 we put forward on a short turnaround coming from that previous game.
And we're missing Ari, but DeGrande's been, playing really well as well. There's no clear favorite here as a starter. Yeah, most of DeGrande's been doing.
I prefer Ari over DeGrande, but DeGrande had a very good game here, so I'm not really going to argue that point vehemently. I thought Taylor Flint had probably the best game of her season in this role, I'm going to say. And having Savannah DeMello and the ever-present Fisher up top and Sears out on the right flank really caused this Houston team all sorts of problems. Again, the high press, looking for those turnovers.
Racing has faced this same scenario this year where they had a weather delay. Matt, you got to think that's really messes with your enthusiasm coming into a match. You get taken off the field, and then here shortly we had another weather stoppage. All sorts of lightning in the Houston area. Definitely affects play, but Racing came out, I think, playing fairly well in the beginning, except for, of course, that goal right there.
I thought we were getting beat in the first 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we had that weather delay, and then I think we came out and started winning the game.
This is this is not on Plumer. This was just a good strike.
Yeah.
Not much you can do about that.
No, it was an excellent strike.
Mm-hmm. I thought we lacked energy after the first break, which is understandable. You can see the conditions right there. Everybody's soaked. You're in the visiting locker room, right? You're in unfamiliar circumstances. All your pregame rituals, all your preparation kind of goes out the window. When you would take long breaks like this, look at that. But this is after the second break, and they came out like a different team then. I don't know what Bev said in the meantime, but she should keep saying it. Say it on a loop.
Maybe it was a hair dryer. Who knows? They needed it because they're all wet.
Yeah.
I think
Caleb,
definitely got
take
the
a bow.
benefit of a deflection on that. And Jane Campbell was way too far off her line. And there you go. Aha. Much deserved.
Definitely. I mean,
Caleb.
that's the best goal of Caleb's career. It's got to be.
Yeah, I think so. Almost another one right there too.
Mm-hmm.
Just the work and the second effort she puts down there on the goal line, coming back into the box. Potentially could have passed it off, but hey, look, she takes the ball.
Great tackle.
She just keeps fighting, goes past her. You know, she's not a natural number 9. She doesn't have those natural finishing skills, but I think they are starting to develop. And if they do develop into strong finishing skills, I think she's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, watch out. And I think here we what is this? Is this Emma bringing it in for Sonos? Yeah, I think Caleb will get there. I mean, how many games has she started at the 9? Like total? I mean, what is this, the 4th or 5th game?
Yeah, pretty much all season.
Yeah. So yeah, she'll get there. I have no reason to believe that she will not. They called this heavy metal press. The commentators did, which I really appreciated. The heavy metal press of Racing Louisville. Look at this.
Yeah, we were talking
Get
about
out of the way.
That tackle by Taylor Flint. I think we're talking
I got up
about
off
that
my
too.
couch and
That was excellent.
fantastic.
Yeah,
And then the ball in. That's a great one too.
First half stats, 7 total shots by Racing, but they only possessed the ball 39% of the time. Not as many passes. 98 accurate passes to 181 by Houston. So
Yeah, but passes, you know, the number of passes and whether they're passes, you know, knocking it around in your back line because you can't get through the high press, you're going to have a lot of passes and they're going to be accurate because you're giving the ball to the next defender, still trying to fight your way through that high press. So I think that when you're talking about playing Racing and even Louisville City, sometimes it's a misleading statistic.
I've been really impressed with the press. Particularly because we spoke about this before, but great save by Jordan. Another great save by Jordan. And then a third falling on it. Look at everybody around her. Like, look at this energy that we're getting from her. That's, I mean.
And she was fired up too. She knew it. She knew she was playing well.
Look at that.
She's so quick.
Boom.
Cat-like reflexes. Bam.
El Gato.
Do we have a discussion at goalkeeper after this game? What do you guys think?
I think we had one before this.
Yep.
So I think you leave her between the sticks until she does something that puts her out. That's what I
it's the energy for me, man. The energy that she brought. I mean, she was more vocal as well, it seemed like, than Katie usually is. Katie's kind of stoic in goal a little bit, maybe to her detriment. I don't know. And that one hits the bat. That was behind the net. That was not in.
They were asking questions.
Yeah,
they certainly were asking questions at this point. And yeah, they have a lot of possession, but are they going to get a lot of good opportunities, real good opportunities? Nobody was there. Nobody in the box. So you can knock it around and outside the 18 and pass it into our players in the box all day long. But it doesn't mean anything.
I like that with this press, it's been successful and also a great ball. We have an identity in attack now that we didn't have prior. And I mean, if you get Emma's gonna one-on-one, I mean, she's gonna finish.
You give Emma that much room streaking down the right flank with nobody in front of her, she's gonna put the ball in the back of the net. You know, as long as she stays onside, which she did. We're counterattacking right there.
I mean,
and that's it. Ball game.
Emma's 4th go of the season.
She's now third, I believe. Third. on in the gold boot race. I know very early, but still, you like to see it.
Did you say she was third in the golden boot race?
Yes, I think she's third currently. Yeah,
That's good.
I believe Esther Gonzalez is number one. We'll talk about her more later.
Yep.
And I believe Emma's third. Another great save by Jordan with the hops. One thing, comparing Jordan and Katie, Katie obviously is a little bit taller, but that does not seem to stop Jordan whatsoever.
Yeah, and we haven't seen everything that a goalkeeper needs to do, whether they're good with their feet, whether they're good at distribution, whether they're good at handling crosses, awkward crosses that are coming across goal face. Katie has improved in a lot of those categories over the years. So we need to see more of Jordan Bloomer to see if she's on the same level.
Not only that, I mean, how does your keeper handle pressure, right? How does your keeper dictate the defense? There's a lot of factors there that we haven't quite seen from Jordan, but in the minutes that we have seen, I'm impressed. I am very impressed, and I think we do have a discussion about our starting keeper.
I think that's fair discussion to have. I mean, we kind of talked about it a little bit that there might be some question, and definitely with Katie being injured, unfortunately, it does give Jordan the opportunity to show us what she has. And we've been seeing her walk the sidelines and warm up and be a part of the squad as we've been watching home games, and always kind of wanted to see what she was capable of. And we are getting that opportunity right now. We'll get that opportunity Friday evening as well, which we'll talk about a little bit later on in the program. But gentlemen, we do have a lot of matches coming up. We have Minnesota, we have Pittsburgh, we have Gotham, NJ-NY Gotham, and it's a lot of matches. It's a lot. And I know we talked a little bit about, well, I don't want to steal anybody's thunder, but pitchforks and balloons. You take the pitchfork, you pop the balloons are gone, and now it's just pitchforks.
Just pitchforks.
Yes, this is the portion of the program that we like to complain about stuff. But
bring on the negativity. Let's go. Let's get it in.
Earlier we talked about that attendance there for the Commonwealth Cup, just over 8,200. Again, I'm stealing Ken's thunder, but what are your pitchforks this week? I have no funny little things. You mean show a picture of a dog or something?
I actually have nothing to complain about this week, but we can kind of give our theories on attendance if you want. I'm not really complaining about it because I think, pulling 8,200 fans in for a game on a Thursday night during a very busy week is a pretty good deal. And I think the club is making money off of it. Attendance is down, and it is trending down the past 2 years or so. From 2023 to 2024, we probably lost on average 850 people a game, which is a lot when you're only talking 9,000 people on average coming to these games. This year, it's early in the season, and we know that attendance will pick up as we go through the season. Well, we're still not even above 9,000. We're down around the 8,900. So some work to do to get butts in seats if we want to have a lot of people in the stadium. And I think there's no reason why we can't have over 10,000 people in a game. I think that's probably a mark on the wall by the club. So the question is, why is attendance waning?
I'm really interested whether or not the attendance on average has been going down, whether that's we're losing season ticket members or whether we're losing individual game ticket buyers. I really interested to see where these fans are kind of peeling off from. We're never going to get that information, right? Why the club has no interest, or there's no reason for them to tell us that. But I think it's I think so. You said 2023 to 2024, correct?
That was the big
was
drop.
when
You
the
know, it was
attendance sort of did the big drop, big
yeah,
dip.
I scratched some figures here that I pulled from the internet. Whether or not they're true or not, don't know. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever to go before 2021 because that was the pandemic, and before that was Slugger Field. But we started out at just over 10,000 average. In 2022, we were 10.4. 2023, we were 10.5. And then 2024, we were 9.7. So there's a big drop between 2023 and 2024. Why?
Is it the after effects of COVID? I know that the stadium opened during COVID, right? So it's difficult for people to get there, to really experience the whole new setup. So 2022 was that a full season we played?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I
I
think
believe
the
2022
COVID
was a full season.
is dead and gone, pun intended.
But people came back in waves, correct? They came in, saw what they needed
Not
to
really.
see, but for what? Okay, all right.
Not really. 10, just over 10 for 21, 10.4 for 22, 10.5 for 23. So it's going up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then between 23 and 24, boom, you have a big drop of about 850 people per game. And
really don't like when
2025
you're
right
fat
now,
slaves.
we're down even more, but it's early in the season, so it's too early to tell. You know, pricing, are prices higher? Yes, they are higher. Is inflation higher? Yes. Is the economy kind of shitting itself right now? Yes. I don't know what the other reasons are. Is the sun brighter and stronger? No, not really.
Do you think the bloom is maybe a little bit off the rose at this point? I mean, people have come and they've seen the stadium maybe and are not, maybe have been there, done that attitude. I don't know.
You know, one of the interesting figures when I used to talk to the club about stuff like this is that, you know, we had a very high percentage of people that were season ticket holders for both Racing and Louisville City, much higher than industry standard. I think maybe we are evening out to having a normal ratio of season ticket holders for both, and then season ticket holders for only one team, whether it's Racing or Louisville. So the reason why you've seen a little bit of a drop in the numbers in Louisville City is because those were season ticket holders for both. Then you're like, nah, we're going to go to Racing games instead of Louisville City. One thing I've noticed is there are way too many soccer games to go to these days, and you can't fit them all in. You got all the cup tournaments, you got Racing, you got City, you have a soccer game pretty much every weekend. It's a lot, especially for a family. And if prices keep going up, then maybe they just don't want to spend the money. Not sure.
It's difficult for us to kind of gauge this from like the street level because we're all dinks, right? We're all double income, no kids, so money's not as huge a factor for people with families. We're all obsessed with this, and all of our friends also do this and are obsessed with this, right? So like I don't have the ear of maybe someone who does this more casually. So I'd really be interested to know where these drop-offs kind of come from. Is it the prices? What else could it be? I don't know.
You know, looking at, yeah, go ahead, John. Sorry.
Well, I was going to say, you know, Matt, we were talking about it. I mean, it's cheaper to get an Uber down to the stadium than park at the stadium. There's
Depending on where you live, yeah.
Depending on where you live, but I mean, like if you're in the general vicinity of the inner workings of Louisville, unlike me out in the middle of suburbs.
The inner workings, like a clock.
The inner workings, yes, the cogs. But you know, I think that could be part of it. I mean, it's expensive to go out and do anything right now in a lot of ways. I mean, we hope that things will turn around in that aspect. But I mean, we had talked about it before, and everybody's in one form or another talked about concession prices and things of that nature. But I also am a firm believer, and still am to this day, that for the majority, if you come to a match at the FAM and you are not a soccer person, but you're a sports person, I don't see how you cannot enjoy the experience. It's just win, lose, or draw. It's a great stadium, great atmosphere every match. And I mean, that play 8,200, it could have been 82,000. It was rocking on Thursday in there. So it's a great environment that I think people would enjoy if they came, and I think we are creating. There's a lot of new faces, and that's good. I meet somebody new just about every match, and I think that's awesome. And I hope that those people get as hooked as we all have over the years. But I'm not like concerned about it. I'm not like the numbers you were talking about, Ken. It does kind of fluctuate, and you look at some of the USL numbers, even from this week. The number one attended USL game this week was Rhode Island. Yeah, so it was their stadium opener. Number 2 was Indy 11 at 9,700, and we were third at 8,300. So it's not like we're just falling off the radar and all these other teams are, just surpassing us on that. But again, meh attendance. What was that old meme, the SpongeBob meme? Meh attendance.
No, I'm not concerned. And I think I said I wasn't concerned right away. Now, if the trend line keeps going down, yeah, I think then we need to start getting concerned, because there are other clubs that are opening up in popular, high population areas. Didn't Dallas or somebody like that just do a brand unveiling, and they're bringing a team in, and there are a bunch of other places that I can't possibly keep track of that are bringing teams in. So
the Dragons,
yeah, whatever. There's going to be competition for that. So when you start thinking about, okay, so if we want to maintain our spot as the premier club and play in the Premier League in the USL, then we have to have our trend line and attendance going up and not down. And right now it's trending down. So whoever's in charge of that, I think, needs to pay attention and needs to do something to fix it. And the first thing you do to fix it is you figure out why it's going down.
Yep, absolutely.
And then let us know so we can talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. Or we can just pontificate on why it's going down with no factual information.
Well, we
are
unqualified.
And
well, it's good. So I'm glad you guys are not upset. So that wasn't really pitchforks, not really balloons,
Nope.
Just kind of even Steven segment there to bring us into a fight we have coming up Wednesday evening at the FAM. It is the round of 32, gentlemen, U.S. Open Cup action, as we will be taking on Major League Soccer's Minnesota United. The Loons, not looms. That's something you use for crocheting. The Loons are coming to town. Black and blue are their colors. This is a pretty good MLS team. Of course, I don't necessarily keep up with the MLS like I should not. But this is a pretty good MLS team. And, we have had success against MLS teams before, especially playing in Louisville against them. So, Ken, I guess I'll start with you. Here comes those Loons on a Wednesday evening.
Yeah, I think our chances are very, very good to take a win out of this one. Minnesota had a game 2 days ago, so they are coming off a much shorter rest than we are. Throwing a travel day on that, coming from the Great White North to Louisville. They have a fairly extensive list of injured players, including their best player, Calvin Yeboah, who's not expected back until early June. So my guess is they're going to be resting some of their players so that they can stay in striking distance in the MLS league. And we'll see a lot of players that don't normally get a lot of minutes playing in the Open Cup. When you look at where they're at in the standings, they are second in the Western Division.
Seems good.
Yeah, seems good. They're 7 points off the lead. At 26 points, they only have 19 points. And then the rest of the teams are kind of bunched up. So if they play this game and wear out their players and go back to league play, there's a good chance that they could drop points and start having to fight for playoff berths. And I don't think they'll take that chance. I think they're going to play some of their players that don't see those minutes, and that gives us a much better opportunity to take this win.
Yeah, this one's about priorities, right? Where does Minnesota value the U.S. Open Cup in relation to their regular season, right? We're in a fortunate position, I think, and we'll talk about it more later. We have Pittsburgh up on Saturday, who is sort of middling a little bit. They're sort of in the middle of the table. We are in a race for the top spot in the East, but it's early in the season. You want to keep pace with Loudoun, but not necessarily. We don't have to overtake them right now. So we can devote maybe our A lineup to Minnesota, right? It's priorities. What is Danny's priority here? I don't know. We'll see in the lineup. I haven't watched the second of MLS, and I want to say 5-6 years. So I have no idea whether Minnesota is good or not. I don't know anything about Minnesota, the state or the team. I don't know what makes them united. I don't know. Are there a lot of loons there?
Yeah,
like
I think there are a lot of. Ooh, I don't know what a loon sounds like. Yeah, well, when you look at our standing on the table, we've got. Yeah, they make some sort of weird. I wanted to get it as a soundbite, but I just never got around to it. But it's a very haunting sound. Back to soccer. Okay, so we have a game in hand. We're only a point behind Loudoun, and it's early in the season, and we have a deep enough bench to stay on top, if not second or third, and then we can make a run at the end of the season to win our division. Minnesota is in a completely different situation because they are not close to the top. They are even on games with everybody, and there are a whole bunch of teams right behind them in points. So I think we have an ability to take more risk and play a much play our starting A roster, and I don't think they can afford to do that, which is my long-winded point that I've been trying to make.
John, I want to point something out to you really quick. And I know that this might be something that you haven't noticed, but I want to say that Louisville City hasn't lost in 9 matches, I believe. And again, I don't know if that's something that you keep track of or not, but I just wanted to make you aware of it.
Correct.
There's going to be an Open Cup game both Tuesday and Wednesday. CBS Sports is kind of all in with this Open Cup thing, which I think is a prelude to Pro Rel in the USL, which has
done an excellent job so far.
Yeah, the Galazzo wraparound show that they do is pretty awesome. They're going to show all the goals from that after the fact. So they're definitely putting some resources into the Open Cup, which finally is a great and wonderful thing.
Speaking of hooligans, we are some Lavender hooligans, and we are excited because I'll be back in town for this one, gentlemen. See, there's so much soccer this week. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. So Friday evening, we are cordially inviting NJ/NY Gotham. That's what I always call them. I know I always butcher it as well. Matt, Gotham is a pretty solid club, a team that is probably going to be a little bit more of a challenge than Houston per se. Maybe up there with the Thorns. What do you see out of this Gotham team come Friday evening?
Isn't it odd that the New York team calls themselves Gotham, right? Isn't Gotham just another name for New York? Isn't that like a commonly known nickname for New York, Gotham?
It is kind of strange.
So it's like calling yourself the Chicago Wind. I don't know. Whatever. So as previously mentioned, Esther Gonzalez has been having a fantastic season so far. She's leading the league in goals. I believe she has 2 goals on anybody else that's even close to her. 7 so far, and I believe 8 games. So she is one to watch for. We need to contain her. You hope. But the rest of the team isn't distributing sort of those goals. It's just her, it seems like, as the focal point of the attack. So maybe that's something we can look to disrupt. They are 4th, I believe, 4th in the table. So up there, close to the top, sort of that top group. We're riding 3rd. Okay, so we're riding just a wave of momentum like we have not seen in some time. So I'm interested to see how we fare.
All right, I got something to say about this.
Oh,
I don't think Gotham's that good. They've got 8 games played. They're at 12 points, puts them at 4th place. We have 7 games played. We have 8 points, but it's at 11 points. So that, when you just look at a game in hand and the point spread, ain't that much. They have 2 key injuries on their team, which is Tierna Davidson and Rose Lavelle. They are both out. Don't expect either of them to be back for this game. And I watched them play Chicago, the bottom dweller team, to a 0-0 tie on Sunday, and Gotham looked lethargic and terrible, and I didn't hear Esther's name called at all. So I think we have a great chance to beat them right here at Lynn Family Stadium on Friday.
hell yeah.
Who?
You're right, Matt.
0-0 draw to
Fourth.
Chicago, man.
They're in 4th. You were right. I was actually looking at the history of these two teams playing each other, and it brought up the wrong table. But we have played them 10 total matches, both teams getting 2 wins apiece, 6 draws between these teams. It's going to be very interesting to see. Get out and support racing this Friday night. We'll be there. At least I will be there. I think you guys will be there as well. I don't know. But Jordan Bloomer will be there, and I love her. Don't tell Katie. I love her.
I expect her to get the start, and I expect racing to win.
I like it. That's the Ken Luther stamp of approval. That's the guarantee. That's a lock, right? You're guaranteed.
It's not a lock. It's not a guarantee. Nothing's a guarantee in soccer, but this team is very beatable.
Ken will pay you money if they lose. He's
against
Chicago.
Okay. Well, let's not get carried away.
It's a guarantee.
Well, I tell you what is a guarantee.
Yes.
Dogs are really cute. And
oh, we love them.
yes, and Lynn Family Stadium is going to be welcoming a lot of dogs, a lot of different types of dogs. You got dachshunds, chihuahuas, and golden retrievers, and you got these stupid-ass river hounds. Our old friends from Pittsburgh are showing up on Saturday. Boy, Saturday evening, once our hangovers are over with from racing, we will be welcoming the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, a team that we have gone to war with one too many times for my liking. I'm not a big fan of playing Mr. Lily's teams, but we will see here. Pittsburgh is not the team that they once were necessarily. Still pretty early in the year. Ken, what do you see out of the old Riverhounds?
Yeah, I see. We know how they're going to play. They have a very defensive-minded team because that's how Bob Lilly likes to play. They do have some speedy wingers and some danger up top. But again, they're coming off an Open Cup game just like we are. They're playing New York City FC. And then they have to travel and we don't. So I think that automatically gives us the advantage. I think our roster is much deeper than theirs. So injuries and player fatigue, I think we have one up on them there. So I expect us to pull out a win on Saturday as well. And will not accept anything else.
It's another guarantee, folks.
We are Louisville City. Hey!
Yeah.
You just want
Does Pittsburgh have to travel for their Open Cup game as well?
I'm working for it. What?
Hold on.
Does Pittsburgh have to travel for their Open? Okay. There we go. Now I'm just asking you, John, and I know you don't know. So.
Well, no, I know. What's the question?
Is Pittsburgh traveling to New York for their Open Cup game, or is that?
Oh, I'll tell you right now. No, they're actually hosting.
They
are hosting NYCFC.
Okay.
Yes, and
it is my opinion that the lower seed should always host, but that's just me.
I agree with you. Well, let me just say this about Pittsburgh. They're right now very terrible form. I don't know if you've noticed, but they're not firing on all cylinders. They are not. They've got some opportunities. I think they've won one game in their last 5. You're back, Ken. I'm sorry. I apologize. I love you. But in their last 5, I think only one victory for the Riverhounds. Very unlike the Riverhounds. We know that they will end up being somewhere toward the top of the table, you would think, because they just are always a good team. But they've got a tough matchup. just like we're putting a lot of emphasis. This one's major. Just like we're putting a lot of emphasis on our game with this MLS squad, so are the Riverhounds, and they're probably going to be putting a lot of intensity in that match on Wednesday. A beautiful stadium, a place I threw my name tag in the river, but Pittsburgh is a tough team anytime you play them, but when you've got close to 1,000 actual dogs, you can't lose.
This is my favorite game of the year by far. By far. The next week in the USL Cup final is Atlanta. I hope that is also a match. I think it would be great atmosphere.
It really
yeah,
depends on
this game.
It really depends on the type of dogs we see too. We have seen some very just odd dogs.
I don't think
John's
they play
saying
well
don't
on
bring
our
your
field
ugly
either.
dogs to the game. That's what John is trying to say.
Okay, that's great, but I don't think they play well on our field either. I think our field's too big for them. We spread the field, we run all over them. So I think this is going to be a very good game for us. You're right; their form is shit of late. They have They're coming off 3 losses. So I don't know if it's an injury problem or we just don't know how to win problem. And they're probably going to get killed by New York City FC. So their heads will already be down, and we're just going to stomp them out.
They've got Augie Williams still. It's weird for me to not see Canardo Forbes still in that Pittsburgh squad. But
they
I'm
do
looking
have
at
an
the
injury
lineup
problem. Yeah, they've got at least 4 players on cards or injuries right now. So that they don't have the bench. They're coming off Open Cup just like we are. I think all my points are still valid. I think we definitely have the upper hand for this one.
One final thing for me. Their keeper's name is Eric Dick. So everybody in the stands, go ahead and have fun with that.
Yeah, y'all know what to do. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no hockey game sound.
Yeah,
no karaoke.
Right. Ken, I didn't know if I gave you enough time if you wanted to bury any local restaurants today or anything.
Come on, man. I love our restaurant scene.
I
just
know.
hate it when they fuck up, when I have high hopes.
Hey, I know. Hey, you know what? We gave them a lot of good publicity. So,
hey, speaking of that, shout out to all my service industry peeps that had a very busy weekend. I hope you made a lot of money.
Yes, hotel workers and all that stuff as well. Basically, everybody in the whole city of Louisville, one way or another, was affected in mostly a good way by the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody on Taylor Boulevard selling waters and hot dogs and parking spots. I mean, shout out to everybody hustling out there.
Yep. Turning that yard into a parking lot, a tradition unlike any other in Louisville, Kentucky.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys. Any closing thoughts before we get out of here this evening?
Oh, we'll see you at the games.
I didn't have thoughts to begin with.
Absolutely. We will see you at the games. Hey, don't forget we have an audio version of this program on Spotify you can check out as well. And follow us on all the different social medias and all that good stuff. So for Ken Luther and Matt Dalton, I'm John Harper. We are 24-hour Purple People, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye, Purple Fam.